Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today I wanted to answer a question, make a video about something. I got an email from a gentleman named Seth who says, hey, curious if you had $25,000 to spend on numismatic gold or silver coins, how would you spend it? My goal is to maximize my value up to a 15-year hold time, 10 to 15-year hold time, and I'm happy to have a call and make the purchase. I love St. Gaudens, Indian Head, and Silver Peace dollars, but I'm looking for advice. Again, looking to maximize future returns. Thank you in advance, Seth. All right, so for some of you who've been following this channel for a while, you already know my answer to this question, which is I always give this caveat. In fact, sometimes I don't even bother answering this question. And this is a question I get all the time. But my caveat always is don't invest in coins, collect coins. People who collect coins tend to make money on them in the long run, and people who invest in coins tend to lose money. I just have shell shock from years and years and years of seeing investment coins, investment coins where people just got hosed, right? Having said that, it sounds like Seth has interest in coins already, has some money set aside, he wants to buy some stuff, but he's also considering what can be a good return, right? So the real answer to all of this is always the same answer for anything financial, which is supply and demand. I mean, it really is. The economics of things are still a real thing. Now, in the modern world, we're running out of some of the real things. Like the nice thing about coins nowadays is coins are tangible. They are real things, right? And so it's a lot harder to manipulate that market compared to all of the electronic everything that's around us, which computers and robots and stuff can manipulate prices on. We don't even know, right? We just, at the end of the day, you just don't really know. But if you actually get to hold something and the coin market in lots of ways can only move at the speed of physical things moving around, right? At least for now. Okay, so what do you want to do when you move forward in the future with supply and demand? You got to consider both the supply side and the demand side, right? Because at the end of the day, there's plenty of things that are very scarce, but the demand's not there. But will it be there? And that's where you start guessing at the future, right? So when you're looking at things that you don't know that have upside, then, but they have a low mintage, then, that's where you're just kind of guessing at it. The demand side on the other side is if you know something that is in high demand, it seems like they've always had some type of appreciation. So there's a guy on the radio named Dave Ramsey. He has this investment strategy for mutual funds where he just says, hey, there's like 4 basic things, right? And it'll give you a little bit of mixture of everything in the marketplace. You've got growth and income stocks, mutual funds, growth and income, growth, aggressive growth, and international. And if you actually kind of think about that, to answer Seth's question, if you're just going to, with the number amount, you could just buy one coin and call it good, right? But I think the idea here is, in my mind, you want to generally have a pretty broad base of collectors. So I'm kind of eliminating the idea of buying one expensive coin. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't do it myself if I just had the money to spend, but I don't think that quite gets at the spirit of his question. But if you think about having in the coin market something that is like old faithful, right? That's your like growth and income, boring stocks that just pay a dividend, but they seem to always go up, right? Believe it or not, that's going to be any of your key date coins. So whatever series you like, find a coin that's nice in that series. So this might be something like an '09 SVDB, a 1914, and I was going to say something completely different. 1914 D penny, of course, is also another tough one. 93S Morgan dollar. He said he likes peace dollars. Maybe get a really nice 1934S or 1928. Some of the key dates, right? And these tend to do well over time. So if you move from the growth and income down to like the growth and then into the aggressive growth, what you're starting to move into are things that maybe aren't as popular, but you think have more potential. Right, so actually I would kind of move my 14D into that category. I really like coins that are harder to find than they are expensive. Now this comes from experience. So think of it this way, and I use this example a lot, so forgive me if you've heard this before, but if you go to a major coin show and you want to find a really nice 1909 SVDB, which is like the most popular coin in the series, If you want that coin, there are probably dozens of them at the show. If you want it in any grade, you can probably find it at a large show. Okay, think A&A large, right? Big show. Now go find a 1914D Lincoln cent. You're welcome. In the same grade ranges, and tell me how many of those you find in a nice choice AU to UNC, right? So there are coins out there that are just wicked hard to find, but they're not quite as expensive as they are hard to find, right? And so I like that in some of those what you'd call semi-key date type items, things of that nature, right? And as part of this, I'm still playing to the demand side, right? The demand side is those are popular, and popular and demand makes things go up in value over time, right? So anytime when I'm thinking of it as a dealer, I think of what coins am I excited to see as a dealer, or what coins. Any coin that I know is very saleable and popular, right? What you don't want to see as a dealer is a whole bunch of stuff that just is going to sit around forever. So you want to have good return on your money. You want things that are popular. Okay, we covered some of that, right? As far as he mentioned, he likes gold. I will say I'm a big fan at the current market levels of $5 Indians and $10 Indians, both in nice AU to UNC grades. And that's mostly just common dates. I mean, they're nice coins. You can put them together. And he mentioned he likes St. Gaudens. If you just want to have a nice St. Gaudens in your collection just because, then go ahead and have that, right? I wouldn't necessarily pick a St. Gaudens per se, like a certain date or anything like that. But and if I would rather have 2 10 Indians or 4 5 Indians than one nice St. Gaudens. That's just me, right? So now we get to the stuff that's like aggressive growth. This is where you're really kind of trying to target something that's not popular yet. And I would eliminate a few things. And that is when dealers, if you've heard a dealer talk about a series as like up and coming, but they've been calling it up and coming for the last 40 years, I don't know. Maybe I would avoid those, right? So that's going to be kind of like nuanced or niche things that are going to be like California territorial gold tokens, high-end V-nickel. I mean, there's just like things that always are inexpensive. Now, by the way, I think those are great coins to collect, and they're lots of fun to put together, and some of them are even challenging. Go try to put together a really nice 3-cent silver collection. I mean, by the way, that I would actually move that more towards the potential growth than like V-nickels for whatever reason. I just think that I still think that the 3-cent silver can find its way, right? But really, the market is into modern stuff a lot more than it used to be. And you look at the silly prices that people pay for silver eagles. I actually am a big fan of the 5-ounce silver pieces that the U.S. Mint produced over the last decade, right? These big, giant quarters that have 5 ounces of silver in them. A lot of them have mintages of like under 30,000 pieces. And if you think about it, you can buy most of them for like $200 to $300 each. They're way over silver price. But the reality is if you buy them at $200, that's 40 ounces, $40 an ounce silver. I mean, you could see that in your lifetime, you know what I mean? So, or next week, whichever comes first. And so, that's a joke, people. It's a joke. All right. So, those pieces, though, if you think with mintages of about 30,000 pieces and less on a lot of them, if that's a silver eagle, it's $1,000 coin, right? And then, like to me, these are just kind of fun. I like things that are, a little bit different. And then I'm going to move into international and just talk about, in general, international. Always there's been stuff in international that's been underpriced or underappreciated. And it's really interesting to be living through a time when one of them finally hits, so to speak. Because I've always liked Mexican coins. I live near Mexico. I've always had a lot of customers that collect it. But all these types of stuff that were just considered common Mexican coins, all of a sudden they seem to have a market that feels more like the U.S. does. In other words, all of your ocho reales that used to be $20, now they're 50, right? And your nicer ones, which used to be 50, are like 150 to 250. Like they went way up, right? So I generally like larger silver coins. I'm really a big fan of anything South America. That's always been Central America, South America. I've always thought were great. areas to collect, especially on larger coins. Of course, there's always the really fun places where things cross over, which is like the Philippines and Puerto Rico. So anything that's along those lines, I find to be kind of a good value in the international market, right? And of course, once again, now I got you in lots of different areas to talk about. And at the end of the day, though, if you don't know the first thing about coins from, Bolivia, then should you be buying them? Well, the quick answer is probably no, right? But that gets back to my original thesis, or my ongoing thesis, which is you collect the coins. And if you collect the coins and you like the coins, you learn more about the coins, you make better decisions about the coins, you understand the market because you are a collector, not an investor. But I hope that answers the question a little bit. I tackle this question probably once a year, even though I hear it like every week. If I like this one because it had a little bit of specificity to the certain things that he liked, and kind of a time frame and dollar amount. And so at the end of the day, I know there's lots of things that you can buy, in coin collecting. But I also wouldn't shy away from just the old boring stuff. When I've done videos where I've looked back over time at certain things, generally speaking, just over the long run, your coins can appreciate in value. I know sometimes that all it's doing is running against inflation. I realize that, but that's okay, because look around your house at all the junk in your house and tell me how much of it, if you had to have a yard sale or an estate sale, would you be able to get anything for? Obviously you get something for it, but the point is, go have a yard sale and you'll understand what I'm saying. And generally speaking, there's lots of nice coins out there you can buy and enjoy. All right, guys. So anyways, thanks so much for the question, Seth. I appreciate it. Maybe we'll do some business down the road. I don't know, but it doesn't matter either way. I'm happy to answer your question for you. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.